Hello, welcome to my channel. If you like Formula 1, please subscribe. In this video, let's try talking some news. We have this first Grand Prix weekend of 2025 in Melbourne, Australia, and of course, as it is a season start, there's a bunch of news coming around. First of those is Oscar Piastri's contract. After a great season in 2024 and scoring Constructors' Championship with two great drivers, it seems that McLaren wanted to secure its future, especially after those Christian Horner's comments about Oscar Piastri in Drive to Survive. Zach Brown wanted to make things clear and announced that Oscar Piastri will be connected to McLaren for foreseeable future. And that foreseeable future is beyond 2026. If I had to guess, it's at least for 2 more years after that, with possibility of considerable extension. After watching Oscar for past 2 years, it seems obvious he adapted quite fast and scored considerable amount of points last season, together with his 2 wins and couple more podiums. So no surprise there, especially that it seems that he might be wanted by many teams, especially Red Bull. But of course it could have been Horner's mind games. This might close some doors for McLaren in the future, but based on how things are now, it seems that this is a very solid choice. But let's not forget about one thing. Last season, Oscar achieved something quite monumental. The only drivers who did that in the past were Michael Schumacher, Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen. He raced every single lap of 2024 season. If he keeps that reliability, it's great for the team. Even if he lacks some speed at any point, he should still deliver solid points for the Constructors' Championship. And they still have Lando Norris on top, who can deliver that Drivers' Championship. And looking into potential drivers that could become available in a season or two, there are not that many options that could potentially suit their team philosophy of treating both drivers equally. Because of course there's always a speculation about Max Verstappen if he would like to switch the teams if Red Bull doesn't deliver, which might become a case. They seem not to be that reliable at the moment. And one thing that needs to be taken into the consideration, looking into the possibility of them becoming better, is the fact that they lost quite a few people last season who switched the teams. Of course, the first person who comes to mind is Adrian Newey, but there were many more people who are now somewhere else. So that might be a good thing to look into as the season progresses, how fast they are able to improve. Because even though they might not improve this season, there's a significant shift in regulations in the next one, and I bet they would prefer to focus on that target and not to waste money and time on a current car which will become obsolete next year in a big part. But also Max would require to become a number 1 driver for sure if he switches the team, so they might not want to do that either way. However, there's one more thing that is important to look into when talking about McLaren. With contract renewal, Oscar's pay is getting bumped to Lando's level, and that might cause some rift between them, as Lando is there for much longer and might not feel as valued because of that. This can go both ways. He can get a pay bump if he becomes Drivers' Champion, or might decide he's not happy anymore in McLaren and leave. It's just this one more thing to look into as the things go on. Another very big news from the paddock was that Stefano Domenicali will stay as F1 CEO for another few years. And I haven't seen many bad reviews of that decision. I think Lewis Hamilton was happy about it, for example. And I saw some comments that it was due to Stefano Domenicali's ability to handle FIA boss. So that's great. The sport is growing and there are a lot of new developments, like more races, the sprint races as well. So that's definitely great for growing popularity of the sport. But on the other hand, to try to see the other side of the coin, is that Formula 1 might be growing a little bit too much and too fast in some aspects. Big one being the Grand Prix prices, which might be a barrier to enjoy the sport for many fans who are used to going to races every year. Another thing is disappearance of some historic races such as German Grand Prix or some races appearing on the calendar less frequently. There's some information that Belgian Grand Prix is going to happen every 2 years at some point. It might be beneficial for the sport as well, because if we look into the Grand Prix such as Monaco, for example, there's this clear example that it is no longer adjusted to current F1 cars, which are much wider than they used to be, and it is basically impossible for drivers to pass each other. So if there's no incidents, the order would stay the same from start to finish. Of course, it is very demanding from the drivers. They can do no mistakes. However, from the viewer's perspective, sometimes it's just boring. I remember that one year that Daniel Ricciardo won there when he had a not fully working car, and the next driver was not able to pass him for like tens of laps just because of how narrow the track was. And I remember like being on the edge of my seat to see and wanting to see if he gets the win or not. But not every season is like that, and a couple of years I just passed on Monaco Grand Prix and just was following it on my phone, not watching, because there were not that many changes during the race. But back to Stefano Domenicali. After it was announced that he will lead Formula 1 for a few more years, in the interview with Sky Sports, he announced the possibility of new race joining F1 calendar. After Australian Grand Prix, he will go to Thailand to talk about a possibility of creating a street circuit in the capital of the country, Bangkok, to create Formula 1 presence there. So overall, it seems that the calendar for the individual seasons might differ drastically if we get so many races. Let me know in the comments if you would like the idea of calendar shifting between seasons, or do you think that we have too many races already and the things should stay more as they are? And the last news in this video will be the new trailer for the long-awaited Brad Pitt F1 movie, which is coming to theaters finally this summer. The link is in the description of this video. It looks very promising and will definitely bring some more spotlight on Formula 1. I'm definitely looking forward to go to the theater and see the movie. I wonder how realistic it is going to be, because from the trailers and from all the information available, Brad Pitt will be in a completely new team and is supposed to win some races. So that's going to be interesting. Let me know in the comments what do you think about the trailer and the idea of the movie. So now I'm really pumped for the Australian Grand Prix. I will try to do some discussion about the race after the race is complete, of course, because right now we only have the data for practice sessions, which definitely are not reliable to base any predictions, especially that the teams brought so many improvements to their cars, and we never know, especially that supposedly there's like 80% chance that it will rain in Melbourne. So it's going to be carnage. We had the first crash in practice session by Ollie Berman in the Haas, and that might happen in the race as well. So I would like to look into how the things progressed and maybe to see how the teams improved. So looking forward to do that after the race. So thank you very much for watching. I'm really excited for this new channel. I might be rambling a bit for a while. I want to find this like the style and pace for these videos, so I'm testing how things go. English is also my second language, so that's my idea, to try to practice it a little bit more. So yeah, I'm really excited for this season and to do the YouTube channel about something I really like. So if you'd like to see some more videos about F1, please subscribe. Thank you for watching. That was fast. See you in the next one.